Hello and welcome, fellow rogues, to this new video from Flonce Rogue. Today we want to talk a little bit about pre-Antorus. Some thoughts, some changes that will happen when Antorus will be released, and of course the stand of the assassination rogue in this raid, and of course in this future 7.3.5 patch. So I hope we have a little bit fun and you will learn something new. So let's start. So first I want to talk a little about my first thought, what Sin Rogue will do and can do in Antorus. So we have two different options we can play. The first one is the poison build, of course, with Master Poisoner and Toxic Blade. And the second one is the bleed version with Extinguate and elaborate planning. So the interesting aspect is bleed will sim higher. Right now on the live servers also bleed will sim a little bit higher if you have the crit versatility gear. But keep in mind that you can only play Extinguate if you have, of course, the braces and the boots and a minimum of 3 Vendetta relics. So in the tier 1 they have to be Vendetta, and in the tier 3 have to be Vendetta, and the minimum of these should be 3. Of course, then Extinguate is viable and also playable, but that's only the raw numbers. So we have to look into the boss. So if there is heavy movement and maybe a little bit of waiting, you have to wait until you can do some spells or what else. Extinguate is always a little bit behind Toxic Blade, because you could waste your Extinguate and of course your energy is overcapping so much you can't use it, and so on and so forth. So it could be a little bit hard to play. So keep in mind, I would say that the poison build will be a little bit ahead the Extinguate build, but maybe we have the possibility to swap our specs from boss to boss. Also the legendaries you can swap from boss to boss, and this will be very interesting. So the second interesting part today will be the SimCraft results you maybe saw on different websites and of course on the SimCraft website itself. But what is the point with these results? So you can see, of course, assassination is really on the bottom right now. Even outlaw is over assassination, but you can see the little thing behind the results. There's a little bit an edge, which includes the RNG the spec has. That's why outlaw is so good right now if you are proc lucky or what else. But also SimCraft wrote a statement to these results. They are totally work in progress. So the RPE is not included for all specs. And of course the RNG cannot sim. Also you can't sim the RNG aspect for 100%. So imagine a situation you have over 10 or 12 poison bomb procs in one fight. There can be a situation where the boss stay into the poison bomb, or your tank move it around and outside your poison bomb, or there are many adds or what else. So the results are really different. Keep that in mind. So that's why for SimCraft, also the high numbers, it's so hard to get a good result. That's why these simulations are really work in progress, and don't trust them that much. It's maybe a little bit orientation of where could my spec be or what else, but the difference from 2.8 million to 2 million between Fury Warrior and Assassination Rogue, this gap is so huge it can't be real on a real boss fight. Of course, if you stay there on the patchwork fight and press your rotation on the right way, maybe then of course there could be a difference. But keep in mind there's also the RNG aspect. Maybe your Fury Warrior don't get any proc, maybe the Cuff don't proc, and you have, as Assassination Rogue, many poison bombs, and your Vendetta is always up because you are proc lucky, so you are maybe over. You are better than the Fury Warrior. Keep that in mind, okay? And of course, if you're in a normal guild, as I said in my first videos, if you're under 1000, of course, or maybe under 500, there is no way to force you to even reroll or to play another spec. The third point today we want to talk about is the mythic tuning after first week of Heroic. So we saw in all other raids right now, in Emerald Nightmare, in Nighthold, in TOS of course, there were always a tuning aspect after the first Heroic week. So Assassination as example get 22% or above, 5% or above, some abilities were tuned. So as I think there will be this tuning also. So that's why I think, or my opinion of what could be tuned, of course give us the early Legion aspect back. So 40% damage of the braces, maybe the 56 energy rack from boots, 15% more damage from a little bit planning, 40% more poison damage, and 10% more finisher damage from deeper stratagem. This could be the first point where Assassination could be buffed. And then of course they can tweak the aura a little bit, maybe 4 or 5% more or 2% less. I don't know how these buffs could influence into this spec. But Assassination needs some love, because if you are really proc unlucky, you are maybe under the tanks right now, and this feels a little bit sad. So that's why I think that maybe Assassination will be buffed, or Rogue in general, because all Rogue specs right now are really bad. Even Sub is not in a really good spot, because Rogues are scale with items very bad. So we need many mastery, or much mastery, we need much versatility, and agility, or main stat, is not so important. That's why maybe Assassination or Rogue in general get buffed, or the other classes got a little bit tuned, or we can see our RPE change, so Simcraft shows us the real results. Because in my opinion, or what I feel, what I see the day I play, is that I'm not this bad Assassination Rogue, of course, but I'm also really often on the top 5 in the damage meters in the boss fight. Also in Mythic Plus I'm really good, but it's really hard today to get into a group. So be lucky you have your 5 pre-made group like I have, because random it's hard to get into a Mythic Plus group. Tier 21 for Assassination Rogue is a really good tier set bonus. So we have more poison crit, and of course we get energy back if our poisons crit. So I don't know right now if it's only deadly poison or also Kingsbane and poison bomb, but I guess this would be really OP and unbalanced, so I think it will be only affected the deadly poison. But even if it only affect deadly poison, this is really insane, because it forced us to go into crit. So we want to have the Eye of the Command, of course. We want to have the shoulders if we play the poison build, and we want to have crit ranks. So crit got buffed very high, because more crit, more poison crit, more energy, more spells, more finishers, more ruptures, everything will be faster, and of course our DPS will increase. This is right now it's really good, and I like it very much, because it feels like the old Assassination in Warlords of Draenor, and of course before, because there we play with high crit and our rotation got faster as much as ads out there, so more ads, our rotation get faster, we could tunnel more into the main target. It was a really interesting and nice playstyle, and we got it a little bit back with tier 21. If you play the Bleed spec, of course, you can play with 2 pieces of 20, tier 20, and of course with 4 piece 21. And with this combination you play with braces and boots, so you have very much energy regeneration. This is really nice, because you can play with deeper stratagem, so you have the 4% more damage on your finishes. It's a really good opportunity to play, a good option to play. And even this playstyle, tier 21, is very good for, so you can play it if you want. So you maybe ask yourself, what is my opinion rogues will have in Antorus? Of course, we are the utility bombers in the raid group, of course, so every raid group want to have a rogue. So don't be worried about your spot if you play any rogue spec. You will get your spot if you're a decent player. I want to focus, of course, on assassination, because I play assassination. This is an assassination rogue channel, so my thoughts and my eyes go on assassination. And I guess I looked into the bosses. I guess assassination is okay, because there are not so much single target boss fights, and if there are more targets, the assassination rogue benefits from it, because we can tunnel our bleeds, tunnel our dots, get more energy, and can do more damage. So that's why on multi-target boss fights, assassination is a really good option for your raid and of course for yourself. You can also tunnel very good single target DPS, and if you are lucky with poison bombs, you will outshine every other rogue spec, of course. So the difference between sub and assassination right now is maybe 100k DPS or so on the sim version. Of course, we can't see it because I not play the bosses and there are no Warcraft logs or something else. So we will see in the first ID of Antorus where the specs are. I guess assassination will on the middle, maybe on the bottom middle, so there's of course space for tuning. And I will like to play assassination, of course, because there are many movement fights, so your bleeds and your dots will tick when you're running from space to space, when you soak from space to space. You have always your your bleeds and your dots up, and of course this sub or outlaw haven't, so there are not the huge dot classes. And this is the point why I like assassination so much. Of course the bleeds, I think nature damage and bleeds and poisons are a part rogue needs. So sub is this shadow seam I really don't like, and outlaw of course is the strange pirate where I can't I don't understand the spec at all, so that's why I don't like it. Yes, but on the utility aspect, every rogue spec has sprint, cloak, evasion, shadow step, so it's a really nice spec, and I would like to say to you, have fun with your spec, and of course have fun in Antorus. And keep an eye on it. On the 28th of November it will be the opening of Antorus, 29th for Europe, and I'm really happy and interested in the raid and what will happen and the world race. I like to see it, and of course I will put an eye on the rogue also in future and try to update you yes, what will change and maybe what spec could be the right one for you. So boys, thanks for watching, I wish you a nice day and bye bye.